So I saw a tweet the other day about a daycare worker that said that they would definitely have their son circumcised because every time they changed the diaper of an intact boy or uncircumcised boy, that it was horribly painful for the baby. Well, after a little bit of responses to the tweet, the person basically admitted to forcefully retracting baby boys. So as you might be able to imagine, if you understand what I know about circumcision or preputial amputations of boys, I was horrified. And if you don't know who I am by looking at my other videos, I am a genital autonomy advocate, and my name is John Adkisson. I'm not too hard to find on the internet. And I am a cut father of two intact teenagers at this point. So I've had a good chunk of time to study this topic and learn about it. So I started looking to see if there were any videos, what kind of training there is on how to take care of intact boys, baby boys, or even young boys when cleaning them. And there's not very much. Sexplanations has a good video. I was really impressed with that. But it doesn't just cover boys, it covers girls too, which is good. So you might want to look that one up if you're interested in another point of view. And there's another one that appears to be done by a doctor, and there's a bunch of PowerPoint slideshows and stuff like that. But it still talks about manipulating the foreskin or the prepuce. So not everyone's gung-ho on that one. So I decided to do this one. And I did some searching and found stuff that I've seen before, but I'll put some links down below this video on some other information, so you don't have to just trust what I'm saying here. Psychology Today has an article by a Ph.D. about what is the greatest danger for an uncircumcised boy. Something that might be fun to read for you. Even Seattle Children's Hospital talks about forceful retraction issues that can happen. UCSF talks about phimosis and care of the uncircumcised penis. Talks a little bit about smegma and stuff like that. So if you're thinking the smegma is cheese, then you've been led wrong. And there's Doctors Opposing Circumcision that has some good information on it as well. DoctorsOpposingCircumcision.org. There's actually a second article too on Psychology Today about from the same PhD. Doctor ignorance of male anatomy harms boys. It's really scary how normalized it's become over 100 some years in the U.S. that people just don't know how to handle a normal, natural penis. Your Whole Baby, excellent resource. I'm always wearing their pin when I walk around. It has some good information too. And I came across this PDF on nocirc.org, NOCIRC.org, that goes as far as talking about legal and regulatory action that can be done. I have heard of at least one case where someone sued the medical care professionals for forcibly retracting their son. So watch out. Make sure that this information is passed on, especially if you're responsible for a daycare or a nursery or whatever. And I am working on getting the Your Whole Baby thing sent out to all the nurseries in my state. So something else you might want to, I don't know, if you really care about this topic, you might want to try to make sure your local nurseries are aware of how to take care of the intact boy as well. There's a whole wiki article on forcible retraction of the foreskin, and this was really impressive. I liked this from Canada. Canadian Urological Association says over time this may cause scarring of the skin, making retraction impossible. That is the part that's what really gets me. I mean, if I have to think of something that's worse than having part of your genitalia cut away, that sounds even worse. I mean, having your skin permanently attached to your glands, yeah, that would be pretty bad. And even on the NCBI page, catheterization without foreskin retraction. If you have to take your baby boy to the hospital, beware. Medical professionals don't always know how to deal with the natural, normal penis, and they might think that they have to forcefully retract and completely separate the prepuce from the glands in order to catheterize, and that's not accurate at all. So there's other techniques, other ways to do it. I mean, there's the catch bag, which they hate doing because they worry about the catch bag being dirty or whatever, and impacting the results of the test. There's also a blind catheterization process that I'm not a doctor, I'm not a medical professional. That's what they're supposed to be trained for. The question is, are they properly trained? So, I have this neat tool from savingsons.org. Finding out recently that it's hard to come by. It used to be on Etsy. But yeah, shows how the natural penis works without it being, rated R. So I'll be able to leave this as made for children and still demonstrate to everyone how the normal penis is supposed to work. So yeah, just this is a demonstration here. The natural baby penis has the prepuce, the part that's covering the glands, or the double roll of skin that goes up and then back down to the base of the glands underneath the. I keep reading what it's called, but anyways, here's the frenulum, and then there's the edge of the head of the penis, of the glands. And during early childhood, the prepuce has an inner mucosa. If you look at lots of penises that have been circumcised, you'll notice that there's actually two colors of skin, and there's a varying amount of how much the darker color is. And then there's a shaft skin down below, the outer layer, and then the shaft skin. And that depends on, it depends on how the process was done, which tool was used. There's Mogan clamps, there's Gumco clamps, there's Pastabels. And from what I've figured out here is that the Mogan clamp leaves the inner mucosa, even though it might be drawn down on the shaft. It's still there, so you'd have a larger amount of inner mucosa. And whereas with the Gumco clamp and the bell, Pastabel, they insert something to cover the glands, and then they cut lower. So and then you end up with a very small amount of inner mucosa. But anyways, that inner mucosa is normally naturally attached, kind of like your fingernails, or attached to your finger, to the glands. And a lot of people worry about stuff getting inside there and thinking that they have to reach in there with a Q-tip or forcefully pull it back and clean it. That's not right at all. If you really look at the normal penis, it's usually closed off on the end, much like a one-way valve. And if you look at my videos, there's actually a video from where John Geishiker from Doctors Opposing Circumcision is making a presentation about the mechanics, engineering of the natural penis, and he does cover that a little bit. He actually even passed around a plumbing tool that shows how something can go one way but it doesn't get to go the other. It's the same kind of thing. It allows urine out, but doesn't allow stuff to get in. So because it does kind of close off. It's kind of like a muscular they talk about the Darcia's fascia. It kind of closes off on the penis. So this isn't the best representation of that because we don't have something squeezing that close around the penis, around the penis head. It actually shapes to the head. So yeah, if you think about it though, if you were to take a fingernail and rip it off and then put it back on, and then scar tissue would build and it would go back on, and then you rip it off the next day and then put it back on, and more scar tissue would build, and you'd rip it off and tear it, put it back on again, more scar tissue would build. So if you've ever looked at skin bridges, and this is something that actually happens with circumcised boys, preputial amputees, is that they cut things back, but they might not cut enough back or whatever, and then skin attempts to grow up onto the head of the penis and makes a connection and doesn't ever want to come back off. So I've heard of cases where men end up with their foreskin, their prepuce, permanently attached, and can't imagine that would be very comfortable. I've heard of lots of other horrible cases, but anyways, if people would just be educated on how to properly care for a child's penis, maybe this won't happen anymore. So again, that's why I'm doing this hopefully quick video. I'm up to about 12 minutes already, but yeah, think about it. Scar tissue on your genitalia. I mean, ladies, imagine if you had scar tissue on your labia. I mean, if you have any scar tissue at all on your body and you touch it, it doesn't have the same nerves as anything else on your body, and you don't have very much good sensitivity there. Can you imagine the lack of sensitivity that would occur because of all the scar tissue buildup on the head of a guy's penis? This is children we're talking about, people, and that's their next generation, and they're going to grow up, and they're going to figure this stuff out because, you're looking at the internet right now. Information is just growing like crazy on the internet. It is getting very easy to find. And if you're not speaking out to protect the next generation, they might come to you later and say, hey, why didn't you fight for me? Why didn't you speak out? This is an important issue. I know people think that there's bigger issues. This is an important issue. People's genitalia, kind of important to people. They might get pretty mad, and they might go as far as Jonathan Conte and others and commit suicide. It's a serious issue. Please pass this on. Please share it. Thank you.